You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
So, you're messengers from Rattay, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
My respects, Sir Otto. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. I'd greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I got out luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform poor Albert's father that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Why did my chamberlain try to hang you, Lord Capon?
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it?
Sir, we came to your castle in a state of desperation. Your chamberlain had the guards empty excrement on my lord's head and beat him without hearing us out. You were still at the castle then, and if he'd let us see you, maybe you wouldn't have left and wouldn't have been ambushed. And if that wasn't enough, when he had Sir Hans arrested, he refused to believe who he was, even though not only I told him, but your Captain Thomas too.
I must say you have courage, youngster. But I expect I would also be in such a foul mood if the same had happened to me.
Sir!
Best be quiet, Ulrich. We will talk about that another time. And I apologize to you for that unpleasantness. At least it ended better than it might have. Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Rattay showed no interest in negotiations before, either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together with that renegade Sokol of Lemberg hardly inspired our sympathy.
But we can all point the finger. Your League of Lords, on the other hand, abducted the king. Although I don't doubt your reasons, just as Sir Hanush did.
We certainly had. The main one being that your Wenzel is an irresponsible drunkard and idler who is hurting the Empire by his inactivity. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
Well, betray is a strong word. We came to you, Sir Otto, because you're the leading voice of the League of Lords. I expect there are also lords among your ranks who are considering how to find a way out of this sticky situation. And for the Kingdom of Bohemia, it would certainly be better if our paths were to join rather than parting.
Your companion speaks like a diplomat, Sir Hans. However, the question is whether it's possible to join fire with water and end up with anything but nasty smoke. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzik are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy, so we have common interests too.
So then, sir, may we be of assistance to you?
Indeed you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trotsky. And since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or rather a fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhat and may not be very willing to fulfill his obligations. It would be useful if an eloquent noble like yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this Lord Nebak?
The lord of a smaller house with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His children are grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto helped him to acquire an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to charge into battle. But that is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be useful. That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. And it has always been more than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect by sending him someone of status. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in the wilderness amongst the cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
Is that all, sir?
It's no simple task. Knowing Jaromir, if I sent a common messenger, he'd come back with a boot print on his backside. Dealing with the lower nobility can be tricky. They tend to be fixated on their own somewhat fragile status.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Let's not delay our diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own mission.
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you were ambushed, did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
Oh. What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. How would he be here? You only saw him from a distance, from behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Interesting. Interesting. But I must disappoint you. I saw no one of that description.
Thank you, sir. And sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir. The Lord be with you.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated, as befits your station. There, your, equipment shall also be returned to you, and you'll find your horse in the stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount. And therefore he has kindly decided that you may take one of our horses, if you so wish. So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're gonna act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realize it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realized that.
You couldn't have realized. Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologize. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
Don't be surprised. My lord doesn't take kindly to those who insist on putting a rope round his neck.
I understand. I expect no one does. In any case, we'd have it a lot easier, your lord and I, if his behavior weren't so redolent of a bandit. Nevertheless, welcome to Trusky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumor has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost. The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
All too well, thanks.
Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you. Or tell him you'll keep your own if you insist. Then he'll give you proper tack at least, so you don't disgrace us.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
The Lord will be... Observe the day of rest, but otherwise, I'm always on the go. I'd feel bad if I wasn't.
Admirable. I hope you keep it up. But even so, I think you should slow down a bit.
I don't know yet. God bless you.
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived at the castle. There's one I'd like to borrow. An alchemist's cookbook. A sand-coloured cover, embossed.
Yes, several rare and astonishing books have arrived from Prague. But why are you interested in an alchemist's cookbook, of all things?
I've heard there are some interesting ideas in it. Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit of wisdom, especially those from Prague.
Perhaps you know more about that book than I do. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. Lord Nickvard Libak helped me sort the new books at the time, and the one you're looking for caught his attention. He left with it before I could even discover what it's about. All I remember is the author's initials, B.B. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, and I appreciate Nickvard's help, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time now. I'd like to ask him to return it, but he's been avoiding me.
I'll have a talk with Nickvard and find out what the problem is.
You think I haven't tried? But since you've already offered to address this pressing situation, listen to what I've learned. It seems Nickvard lost the book. I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him, but to leave them in his chamber and read them there. But Nickvard is old and stubborn, and this is how things turn out.
The price of such a book must be incalculable. People like Nickvard are too dumb to understand.
But I digress. As I said, Nickvard is intentionally avoiding me. But I've made headway. I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. Bertha, the cook, Regina, the maid, and Hirsch, the hand.
I reckon those aren't the only 3 people that know him.
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone but myself. Nickvard is a loner, which is also why I suspect something bad has happened. Now that he's decided to leave his shell, that is. But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord von Berkove's arrival, I've been preoccupied with other matters.
I'll help you. I'll ask all 3 and see if they lead me to Nickvard.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure what to do, stop by and we'll discuss what you found out.
Before I go, can you tell me where I can find those people in the castle?
Who, exactly?
You said Nickvard is avoiding you. Where at the castle does he live? Are there any places he frequents?
Nickvard lives like a hermit here at Trotsky. Like a ghost. His chambers are in the Crone's Tower, but God knows if he's ever slept there. He took his meals down in the Crone's kitchen. Lately, I've often seen him talking to Regina in the Knight's Hall, in the Maiden, or looking out the hall window. I caught sight of him a few times with Hirsch at the transport yard below the castle.
So I just have to hope I run into him somewhere.
Nickvard always just shows up. I've rarely ever found him on my own. I'm not surprised you can't find him anywhere, since I've been trying myself.
Where is Bertha?
Bertha cooks for us in the Crone's kitchen. She's there most days. If you can't find her there, try the first house in the lower castle, across from the door to the dungeon.
Where is Regina?
As Lord von Berkoff's personal maid, she'll likely be somewhere in the Maiden's Palace, perhaps in the Knight's Hall, or on the floor above it, near the Lord's chambers. She even sleeps there.
Where is Hirsch, the stable boy?
I've seen him with Hirsch at the transport yard below the castle. He sleeps in the house directly across from it. I don't know him much, though.
That's everything I needed to know.
Ave Maria.
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Well, I'm waiting for Lord Libak to stop by. I brewed him another phial of medicine, but I don't even know if the last one helped. I told him to stop by for another one soon. I reckon he must be feeling better.
Did he say where he was headed?
I can't say. I promised Lord Libac his secret is safe with me, as well as his phial of medicine.
Oh, come now. Nickvard misplaced an important book somewhere. A sort of alchemist cookbook. I need to find it.
I remember the recipes by heart. And Lord Libac's secret is certainly worth more than any book.
Listen, Bertha. Do you realize your stubbornness is making everything more difficult? Nickvard could have got himself into a lot of trouble by borrowing that book. Maybe somebody tried to kill him, and you don't even know about it. You think he's suffering from rheumatism or something?
Aye, right, I'm sure that's how it is. Like Lord Libac is part of some grand conspiracy. As if, you idiot.
I don't know how else to convince you. I'm not going to waste any more time here.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Is there any work around the castle I can help with?
Well, there's the issue with the demons.
Demons?
Quiet! I don't want to cause a panic, but yes, unfortunately. Once again, devils are wreaking havoc at Trotsky.
You mean horned ones? From hell?
Do you know any other kind? I'm preoccupied with tasks from Lord von Berghoff at the moment, so I don't have time to deal with it. But I suppose you could do it? You and that friend of yours have a lot to make up for.
You want me to get involved with hell itself? At least tell me more about it.
Ah, you know the times we're living in. War, bandits. The devil took advantage of the chaos and sent his hellspawn here. The castle is built upon an ancient, though fortunately extinguished, fiery moor. It's no wonder it's so close to hell. The spawn of hell shows up here from time to time, and I want you to improve your standing with me and help me out.
Real-life demons, eh? I don't believe in those. Maybe you just have some bats in the belfry.
Have you ever seen the castle during a proper thunderstorm? How God strikes the cliffs with lightning to drive the beasts back underground. I can see you're inexperienced and are taking the matter lightly. Pray it won't cost you dearly.
This'll be my first time seeing a real demon. If I actually see one, that is. So what needs to be done?
Our cooks, Manietta and Berto, were complaining about the creatures running around their kitchens. Ossiner, the castle blacksmith, was also blabbering something of the sort as well. The good news is it's only 3 people, for now. We have to act quickly to prevent the panic from spreading any further.
What did you do about it in the past? I reckon this isn't the first time you've had to deal with it.
We usually cleansed the infested places with the help of a priest or an apothecary. Except for that one year when Sir Otto himself faced Lucifer in the Maiden Tower.
Lord von Berghoff has my admiration, then. How long did they fight? And what kind of armor was Lucifer wearing? Did Lord von Berghoff sustain any injuries?
In any case, you'll have to ask Manietta and Berta, or the blacksmith perhaps, where the demons are coming from. And then simply make sure to get rid of them for good. You understand? I'm sure both the scribe Erazim and Father Nicodemus will have something to say about it as well. The question is if you're up to it, or if I should call in someone braver.
I'm ready to scour the castle and try to chase those monsters away. Could you arrange for me to be able to go wherever I want in the castle, without anyone chasing me out?
Very well. You can move freely about the castle while completing this task, but don't stay any longer than necessary in otherwise forbidden areas. I'll let the guards and servants know discreetly. If anyone asks, tell them you have my permission.
You said something about a priest and an apothecary. Should I pay them a visit?
We've always used either holy water or magic water from the apothecary to get rid of those hellish creatures. Which one would you prefer?
I reckon the holy water is more likely to work against demons.
If I recall, it was blessed by the bishop himself during the Easter Vigil. I believe you can do it. Should the demons attack you, just run away. But don't make too much of a ruckus, or you cause a panic. God be with you.
Greetings. Do you need something?
Do you know where I can find Nickvard? The scribe said you might know.
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nickvard and me. You don't say. But when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nickvard.
Aye, I heard you. Say, can you read?
I can.
In that case, would you mind reading this message I have from Nickvard?
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Say, Lord Capen. Never mind. Read on. Though I reckon it interests you more than me.
Persevere. We shall soon escape the dungeon of those two women. Cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle in my way. The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can feel my insides being reborn. But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed away with them.
How much longer is it?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets into the void, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
True enough. Nickvard has a flair for the dramatic.
My, that's Liebach for you.
But what does it mean? Can you explain any of it to me?
Lord Liebach has taken a liking to me. I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have an affair with a maid. He thought I meant he was too old for me. But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's potion book. He said it would light a flame in him that would burn out all that's old. So I suppose it worked. Hooray!
I know the book he's talking about. But what does he mean, into the void?
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little uncomfortable here talking about some old lovelorn nobleman.
I need help. You can give it some thought, can't you?
No! And now leave me alone.
Coins one more time, I'll scream!
Maybe we could sneak some wine in next time.
The Chamberlain said you know something about the demons haunting the castle.
Of course I do. But I don't know what to think anymore. I keep finding hair in my food. Someone hides my spices. My soup goes sour. And there's that awful smell.
Oh, that sounds terrible. The Chamberlain wants this resolved as soon as possible.
It's about time. Do you have any idea how scared people are? All it takes is one mention of those beasts and the maids start threatening to find work elsewhere. I hear the castle has always been connected to hell, but nobody tells you that when you ask to work here.
Where should I start looking?
They must be coming from the other side of the castle. Under the crone.
All right. But what am I supposed to do about them? I heard I'm supposed to pour some kind of special water.
But you're mostly right. You have to douse the ground in front of the fireplace they're coming from. That creates a boundary demons can't cross.
All right. Where can I find the fireplaces?
That's hard to describe. Anyway, there are 5 such fireplaces on the crone side of the castle. Together they form the shape of a 5-pointed star, a pentagram.
Don't worry. I'll take care of everything. Hopefully I won't miss any of them.
If I were you, I'd do it during the night. Even the demons have to sleep sometime, don't they?
The devil never sleeps.
And the old hag rushes in where the devil fears to tread, eh? The sooner you get rid of them, the better. Take care then.
Huh? What the? Wait, I'll go and see what's making that noise.
Praise God.
The Chamberlain mentioned you've seen demons at the castle.
You're damn right I did. What do you know about it?
I hear they're crawling out of fireplaces in the castle below the crone.
I'm sure at least half a dozen demons have taken up residence in the western courtyard. If the Chamberlain didn't tell you how dangerous this is for all of us, I'm telling you now.
Of course he told me. That's why we're trying to resolve this as quickly as possible.
I'm glad to hear it. Give those demons their due.
Tell me what you know, then.
You know the guardhouse with the little arena? In the palace below the crone, over by the outer wall? Inside, I mean, on the ground floor. The place stinks like hell, day in and day out. It makes my head spin. I've seen things there with my own eyes I'd rather not talk about. I'd start the investigation there if I were you.
All right. I'll look into it.
Thank you, and take care. What would you like?
God bless.
So, how did you end up at Trotsky?
Sir Otto hired me in Prague as his bodyguard and a swordmaster for the local castle garrison. I reckon he sensed he was in danger. And he was right. A band of scoundrels was lying in wait for us on the road, and they nearly got us.
How was your company ambushed? What happened exactly?
It was well planned, I must admit. They nearly got us.
And what went wrong for them?
Hard to say. Maybe we were just lucky, and God was watching over us.
That's all there was to it?
If you really want to know what I think, the idiots lacked discipline. They rushed it.
What do you mean?
It might have come down to a single fool's mistake. I don't know. But if they just waited a bit longer, we wouldn't have stood a chance. Like I say, I thank the Virgin Mary and all the saints for watching over us.
Why do they call you Black Bartosz?
It's just a nickname, of course, because of my, black hair. Every swordsman has a nickname, you know? Once you win a few tournaments, they give you one.
So you're really a highborn knight?
Indeed. I'm Bartoszek of Drahonitz. My father served Emperor Charles his entire life.
Oh, sorry. I suppose I should call you sir.
No, there's no need for formalities. Titles are worthless. A man should earn a name for himself. It's not enough to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
You must have been honored when the Royal Chamberlain chose you as his bodyguard. How did you meet?
That's simple. I was serving in the garrison in Prague's royal castle, where von Burgo was a frequent guest.
I see. But what brought you to his attention? You have good connections, I suppose.
Depends what you mean. I'd recently won 2 big tournaments, so I was invited to a splendid banquet. It was there Sir Otto offered me a position at his castle. I'd heard of Trotsky, of course, but I was still astonished when I saw it with my own eyes. Sir Otto spared no expense to build a truly mighty fortress.
Sorry, but we're about the same age, and I'd never have guessed you're a swordmaster.
We each have our own path, it seems. I even studied at university, while I could still afford it.
What? You're a man of letters as well?
I wouldn't go that far. I dabble in poetry a bit, that's all. I may come from a noble family, but we're not renowned or rich, and studying costs a fortune. And I didn't have one, so I had to do what I do best.
You became a mercenary.
That's right. I spent more time fighting than studying at university, and I came out of it alive. So I reckoned that's where my talent lies.
Where did you learn to fight, Bartosz?
I've dedicated the last 5 years of my life to it. I travelled a lot and was taught by several masters.
I'd like to see the world too. But I haven't even made it to Prague yet.
Well, I haven't been all that far either. But unless you learn from true masters, you'll never become a master yourself. Fortunately, these days there are plenty of swordsmen in Prague who will train you for coin.
I hope to make it to our royal city someday soon.
If you do, go and see Master Lamprecht and give him my regards. He's a man of honor and a peerless master of the longsword.
Privies for the guards. Did he make a mistake? Or was he just messing with me?
Can we fight?
As you wish. Practice or the real thing?
A practice fight is enough for me.
What will you fight with?
Give me a short sword and shield.
What weapon should I take?
Take a short sword.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Try attacking.
As you wish. Ah! Fucking hell! Go fuck yourself!
Guard yourself!
All right. Fucking hell!
Come at me!
Sure!
Come and get another!
Now defend yourself!
As you wish.
That's enough.
As you wish. Had enough? What now?
I need to rest.
All right.
You must have been wrong about those demons. The place you described to me was just a shitter.
You're right. My bad. I realised as soon as you left.
You were bored, so you made up the whole story.
Oh, come on.
I don't have time for your stupid jokes. You'd just be leading me on again.
I wouldn't dare. But suit yourself. Just don't be surprised when one of the demons comes back to bite you in the arse.
I'm sorry.
Bertha, I'm searching for demons in the castle. The Chamberlain said you complained about them.
Those monsters are back again. Last summer, we only heard them scratching the walls and roof with their claws. But they got a lot more bold this time. They're leaving charred marks on my wooden spoons, throwing clumps in my food, and they're constantly leaving their droppings in my kitchen.
Don't worry. The Chamberlain is taking this very seriously. He sent me to take care of it.
My eyes and ears aren't what they used to be, but I still know everything that's going on around here. Be on the lookout for people walking arse first. That's how the demons disguise themselves, so you can't see they're hollow inside.
All right. I'll keep an eye out. Where should I look for them?
They're coming from the other side of the castle, below the maiden, I swear.
Manietta told me the demons are coming from this side of the castle, from below the crone.
My God, the poor girl must be under their spell. And I was so fond of her.
Let me guess. I'll have to find and sprinkle 5 fireplaces.
Of course. Everyone knows the demons enter this world through the flames. You have to find 5 fireplaces in the palace, under the maiden, and sprinkle water on them. Be careful to sprinkle within the width of your little finger. 9 drops, 1 for every angelic choir, and every 3rd drop must be twice as big as the ones before it.
I'll take care of it. I hope I can do it exactly as you said.
And one more thing to take to heart. The spell is most effective when performed in the moonlight. But most of all, don't forget 9 drops.
About Nickvard and the book.
How many times do I have to tell you? When you run into Lord Libac, tell him I have his medicine.
Medicine for what?
That's none of your business.
I don't know. A little more here.
Is this how they clean floors around here now?
You silly doggy.
This could use some
But the river there has a powerful current. The dead man has been floating down the river for at least a week without anyone noticing. Exactly.
Word about the price.
Sure, why not? Aye, that'll do. Great! I'm glad you found what you were looking for. Take care, friend.
That is strange. I reckon something devilish was involved. You don't see something like
But your father's still alive, isn't he?
Well, he drools all over himself. And he gets this feeling that his time is nearly up.
Does he get it often?
Nearly all the time. And he's
nice and slow. Whoa!
Good day to you.
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Hey, Nick. I mean, Lord Libac. I almost forgot about him. I suppose his task wasn't so pressing, hmm?
What do you mean, forgot?
Nick Libac, that is, entrusted me with a big task quite a while back. He's a castle lord. Obviously, I had to obey him. But then I heard what another castle lord was planning, von Berghoff, and I had to obey him even more. He says there's a war on. So here I am, ready to go off to battle.
I need to know more about what Nickvard asked you to do.
No. There are new rules now. You have to prove you're not a spy.
What are you blathering about?
Von Berghoff said there's a war on, right now. I told him, watch out for spies, Sir Otto. But fear not, I know how to sniff them out. You're a spy yourself, ain't you?
I'm not.
Ha! That's exactly what a spy would say. That's why you have to be vetted, to see if you're really on our side. The side that Nickvard's on, just so you know. We're all friends here. You can join us.
I'd like to.
Hold your horses. First a test.
Tell me what you want from me, then.
A sword.
Sword? Hmm? What sword?
A long and very good one to help me deal with other spies. If you bring it to me, I'll know you're not an enemy spy who should fear me. Forge one, buy one, or even steal one for me. Maybe from one of the guards at the training ground or down by the gate. During the day, they're not in the towers anyway.
Steal a sword? That sounds like something a spy would do.
Not a spy who wants to help von Berghoff's most loyal servant. By servant, I mean me. See, once I get a sword, I'll fill you in on Nickvard's task.
Listen, Hirsch.
Don't try any word games on me. Persuasion, threats, I know about them spy tricks. Deeds talk louder than words. For example, like bringing me a sword.
I'll think of a way to convince you. Easy, good horse. Whoa, whoa.
What a cheap old nag.
Whoa, whoa.
God bless you.
Easy, good horse. Whoa! About Nickvard.
Got that sword yet, spy?
You wanted a sword? So look at what I got for you.
I don't want an
I'll gladly give you some groschen to buy your own sword.
Only spies pay bribes. Unless you had more groschen than a common spy would have. Then I'd believe you ain't one of them. Do you have that much?
I'm not going to pay you that much.
You want to hang on to your spy earnings, I understand.
Well, you won't get another chance.
I'll think of a way. Easy, easy. Nice and slow. Whoa, whoa.
What would you like, friend?
Show me your wares.
A word about the price.
Very well. I'm done. Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh?
That should do it. That should do it. That should do it. That should do it. Eight, 9. Eight, 9. hope I'm doing this right. Eight, 9. Look what I have for you. Here you go. Take it. Here, Mutt.
I'm sorry.
Greetings to you, friend.
Hail.
What do we have here?
I took care of those demons. They shouldn't be a problem anymore. I've still got chills down my spine thinking about those screams.
Hopefully things will quieten down again for a while. Most importantly...
I decided to help Ossiner as well. I can still smell that stench everywhere.
He got you too, did he? He tries that prank on all the newcomers to the castle.
You knew? Why didn't you warn me?
I wouldn't want to spoil his fun.
Anyway, the job is done.
Trotsky Castle, held by Sir Otto von Berghoff, Lord of Billin, Royal Chamberlain of the Kingdom of Bohemia, Chairman of the Provincial Court, Member of the Crown Council, Magistrate of the Peace, Burgrave of Prague, thanks you.
I didn't fight Lucifer like Sir Otto, but even so, the demons should leave you alone. I'm glad I could help.
And I'm glad that all I have left to deal with this month is fixing the stairs, the sedilia, and checking all the chimneys.
You've got a lot to do.
There's always something to do at a big castle like this. Also, don't think you can continue to move freely about the castle. You are hereby stripped of that privilege. Nevertheless, since the minions of hell didn't reach the castle's coffer, nor did they cut into our profits, you deserve a reward. Take care, Henry.
God be with you.
Let's talk about the price.
Very well. Aye, you convinced me with that price. Thank you, and a good day to you, friend.
Word about the price.
Very well. I'm done. Oh well, what can you do?
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
I'm here for some horse tack. I hear you have something for me.
Well, fuck me blind. You got out of jail yesterday, and today you've got a horse. Fuck, I wouldn't mind having your kind of luck. But you're fucking things up for me and making a mess. And I don't want to get a whipping on your account. I've got the tack ready, but I've been ordered to show you our herring first. You can take him, they said. So kindly take a look at him in the stable here and tell me if you want him or not. Take care.
Him off and he wants his revenge. He complained to the bailiff.
Heel!
There'll be nothing nice left here at this rate. Don't worry. When's the last time you saw the bailiff get anything done on time? That tree will still be here long after we're gone. Farewell then, my friend. Take care.
Greetings. Do you need something?
About Nick...
How many... That's...
Well, if a nobleman's secret is worth so much, how about this? That'll buy you more than one book.
I suppose Lord Libac wouldn't mind. And do you have the exact amount?
Of course.
So many groschen. I promise I'll split it with Lord Libac when I see him, and I'll explain everything.
But now tell me, what's the medicine for?
Well, it's a common potion for a bellyache. Just better tasting. It helps your meals go down easier and come out slower the other end. In that regard, Lord Libac had, well, how to say it? Everything came out much too quickly.
Nickvar didn't have time to run down the stairs, eh?
It was in the privy down below the crone, by the training ground below the guardhouse. I helped him clean his hose and made him the medicine, and I promised that I wouldn't say anything. Lord Libac is quite particular about the impression he makes on the young maids, you know. He didn't want this little episode to put them off. That's why he didn't use the privy near the maids' quarters, though it's closer to his chamber, but to the arena instead, and only when there weren't any soldiers around. But this time, it caught up with him.
Is that all?
What else is there to say? That the entire time he looked as if he'd done the worst thing in the world. It happens to the best of us. And I told him as much then. I'm just surprised he never came back for another file. I must say, he did look as if the fate of the entire castle was suddenly on his shoulders.
I don't know if this is going to do me any good.
Well, you could have found a worse clue.
Thanks anyway.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh? Pleasure doing business. Take care. Good day.
What are you doing, you whistler?
Why the long face?
Go and get your horse so we can get going. Lord be with you.
About...
Got that
You wanted a sword? So look at what I got for you.
That's perfect. Lovely. I don't think you're a spy. Can't say for sure, but you seem all right.
What about Nickvard, then?
Nickvard asked me to do something for him. He must have admired my devotion to Lord von Berghoff. Either way, Nick looked troubled and not very healthy. He wanted me to fetch him something he lost outside the castle, and I told him I would. At least I could check to see if anyone was sneaking around about the castle. But then Nickvard clutched his belly and ran off. So I never found out what he wanted, or from where.
That's all?
Aye. If you run into Nickvard, ask him if he still needs it or whether he found it himself. I'll be going into war soon, so I don't have time for these things, see?
I'll tell him. Easy, good horse. Crone and maiden standing behind the gate. That was in Gable's riddle. Quick! You must be Nick
God bless.
eh? Poor wretch. How many more times am I gonna have to poke around in corpses and shit for that damn crazy?
Good doggy. Good boy.
Go! Whoa! Slowly. Nice and slow. Oh,